Hello, my friends. I pray that this finds you doing well, enjoying all of God's love, grace, and guidance in all aspects of His purpose. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of Leadership Synergized Plus. I want to talk about something near and dear to my heart, something that I've had to work really hard with throughout my life and my career. It's a skill that whether we're seeing ourselves in the moment as a child of God, as a father, as a brother, as a spouse, as a sister, or as a leader, something we need for long-term success and to have the ability to plant seeds and help others harvest their value and their potential. That is the art of thinking. In particular, in this episode, I want to talk to you about critical thinking. And it's just not that critical thinking is for solving problems. Rather, it is about thinking clearly, rationally, and deeply about the decisions we make and the actions we must take. In my life, I have found 5 obstacles to my ability to effectively think. First of all, it starts with an emotional bias, allowing feelings to cloud judgments or to override logic. An example, going into a meeting with a group of individuals who perhaps I've met with previously on a similar topic and having a predetermined thought about where they're going to stand on the topic to be addressed in the new meeting. I developed a skill through a lot of effort and work of clearing the mind, the mechanism, or wiping the whiteboard clean, if you will, the whiteboard being my brain, and approaching each opportunity with a fresh start and a blank slate. That allowed me, more often than not, never being perfect with this, but more often than not, to be able to move emotional bias aside to allow critical thinking, in particular with others, to have the opportunity to flourish and to be most effective. The second obstacle, this was a difficult one for me early in my career, and that obstacle is groupthink, where we conform to the opinions of those around us rather than questioning and developing our own frame of mind on a particular topic. So important that our voice is heard because you, my friends, are part of everyone and everybody, and everyone counts and everybody matters. Don't fall into groupthink. The next being overconfidence, assuming where we know more than what we really do, or we dismiss alternative viewpoints because maybe we're uncomfortable admitting, so we allow overconfidence to take over without any facts to back it up. And when I say facts, that becomes the fourth obstacle I've found to critical thinking in my career, that of having lack, little, or no information. And that becomes then where a group, an individual, begins or does make decisions based on unavailable information or an incomplete picture. And then finally, the fifth obstacle, time pressure, rushing decisions without adequate reflection or analysis. And for me, what I found when I was dealing with time pressure, I found that pressure was coming from within. When I was able to step back and recognize that very few decisions must be made in the immediate moment without being able to question and without being able to remove the emotional biases, without being able to gather all the information and to truly recognize the skills I have and the knowledge I have and closing those gaps. Very few times were those decisions necessary. So again, pay attention, understand the obstacles that are getting in your way of critical thinking. Perhaps they're one of my 5. Emotional bias, groupthink, overconfidence, lack of information, and time pressure, mostly self-inflicted time pressure. Once you recognize what's getting in your way of critical thinking, you have an opportunity to lay out a plan moving forward. Next week, I want to talk to you about characteristics of effective critical thinking. Thank you for this time. God bless you. I appreciate you, and don't forget, you count, you matter, my friend. Always, you matter.